Hey guys, welcome to Worthy Max, your home for consumer news and product reviews. Now, as some of you may know, Samsung just recently released the Galaxy Watch Active. Now, with the release of the Galaxy Watch Active, it's clear that Samsung wants to be a serious contender in the smartwatch arena. Now, Samsung has made some design and UI changes on the Galaxy Watch Active to set it apart from the original Galaxy Watch. And these changes have me intrigued, and I really want to do a comparison between the two watches. But it really makes me reflect on my last 5 months of ownership of the original Galaxy Watch. With the release of the Galaxy Watch Active, this could create some good deals on the original Galaxy Watch and the watches that came before it, such as the Gear S3 Frontier. So I've come up with a list of things that I did and did not like about the Galaxy Watch over my last 5 months of ownership. So hopefully this will help you decide if a Samsung smartwatch is the smartwatch for you. So let's get into it. First, we'll start with some likes. The first thing I like about the watch is the build quality. Samsung has constructed this watch using materials that feel like they'll stand the test of time. If well maintained, this watch feels like it will last for years. Another positive is the battery life. Now, I typically get 2 to 3 days on a full charge on this watch, and it also charges fairly quickly. So with it charging quickly and having good battery life, I typically only have to charge this watch 2 to 3 times a week, and that's really good. Another thing I really like is the standalone capability of the LTE version. Now, I chose the LTE version because I want to leave my phone at home at times and just use my watch and not miss notifications, calls, or text. I've had very few issues with the connection between the watch and the phone, and I haven't had any issues using the watch as a standalone device. When I'm out and about and I don't have my phone with me and I only have the Galaxy Watch, I never miss text or calls or notifications. It works pretty well picking up the cellular connection. One thing that I think has helped with that has been that I periodically shut down the watch and the phone and reconnect them from time to time just to make sure that connection is good. Another thing that I really like is the ease of use of navigating through the menus on the watch. Now, Samsung has chosen to stick with the 2 buttons and the rotating bezel. This allows you to navigate through the menus easily on the watch. I don't know how different this is on the Galaxy Watch Active with the One UI design change, but I can't imagine Samsung would change it too much. I also like how easy the watch pairs to other wireless devices that I have, such as my Bluetooth earbuds. I've also noticed that the watch pairs easily and seamlessly back to the phone when it needs to reconnect, even if you've been disconnected for a while. The display on the Galaxy Watch is crisp and easy to read. It's easy to see text and notifications, check the time, and see icons, and that's really good considering the size of the display. Now here's where we get into what I did not enjoy about the Galaxy Watch over the past 5 months of ownership. First of all, the bezel. It scratches easily. The material is like a graphite flat black finish, and it scratches really easy. One thing that I've noticed is that if you have a fine-tipped marker or Sharpie, it will cover up those scratches pretty well. Now they're still there, but they're barely noticeable if you take your time and cover them well. Another thing that I hope Samsung has improved on is the text typing and screen write on the Galaxy Watch. They could use some improvement. Screen write to text is not very accurate, and sometimes you have to erase and redraw your character before it gives you the right letter. My suggestion is to use speech to text when possible when you need to send a text message or write a reply to avoid having to use the tiny keyboard or use the screen write option. One thing that I did not like is that the S Health calorie burn on the watch is off. It just doesn't work that well. At least it doesn't work as well as you would expect it to. Now, Samsung states that the watch calculates calorie burn based on your BMI and what you are expected to burn throughout the day. The app does not work that way on the phone, and it kind of throws you off on the watch. One thing that I do is I just use the watch to dump my step counter data to my phone, and I count my calorie burn through the app on the phone and avoid the S Health app on the watch completely. One thing you'll need to look out for if you purchase this watch is that if you reset it, every time you reset it, it will have to be reactivated through your carrier, or at least that's what I experienced. Now, I use Verizon, and your carrier may be different, but from my understanding, eSIM on these watches operates the same way, independent of the carrier. Now, this may not be a big deal if you don't switch phones very often, but I'm a bit of a technophile, and I like to upgrade my phones frequently, and it can be a bit of an annoyance. Now, one thing that I have heard people complain about is Tizen. That's the OS that runs on the Galaxy Watch. Now, I don't know if this is the same with the new redesign of the Galaxy Watch Active with the One UI design, and it may operate differently, but to be honest with you, the way it operates is fine. The biggest problem is there aren't very many apps. Now, I know at one time, Samsung was really pushing Tizen on some of their devices to increase developer support, but it's still not there, and there aren't that many apps developed specifically for the watch. Not that many unique apps. So if you want to use apps on the watch, that's one thing that you're going to want to be mindful of. I don't use that many different apps on my watch specifically, so it's not that big of a problem for me, but I could see it being a problem for others. My biggest issue with this watch was the band. That's right, the watch band. At first it was fine, but I noticed after about the second month of wearing it, it began to irritate the skin of my wrist a little. It actually got irritated to the point where I had to stop wearing the watch for about a week. Now, at first I thought this was just me, but in my research online, apparently several people have had this issue. So one thing that you may want to do is swap the band when you get it, or periodically swap the band. At the very least, keep the watch band that comes with it if you plan on leaving it on the watch. Keep it clean, keep the moisture off of it. If you get the watch wet, make sure you dry it. One thing that I did was I used alcohol to clean it, and I also made sure that I wore it a little bit more loosely on my wrist. After I did this, I noticed that the irritation was gone, and I didn't have any problems after that, and I can wear the watch every day like normal. So all in all, I think the Galaxy Watch is a good watch, but it's not without its faults. I do think it was a worthwhile purchase, and the positives outweigh the negatives. But if you do plan on purchasing it, I would suggest waiting a bit, as the Galaxy Watch Active was just released, and it's about half the price of the original Galaxy Watch. Therefore, we may see a price reduction on the original Galaxy Watch in the coming months, and that could be a really good deal. Well, that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for checking it out. Drop your opinion about the Galaxy Watch in the comments section below. Do you think it's a good purchase? Do you think it's a waste of money? What's your opinion on smartwatches in general? Thanks for watching again. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time.